I like to create peace in my own life, first of all, by a period of daily meditation. I've meditated every day for about an hour for the past 35 years, and I haven't missed a day, and I can't even conceive of what might make me miss a day. That's a fundamental for me, a foundation. That really sets the tone for me for the day. And the second thing I do is when I'm moving around in the world and participating in my regular old daily life, whether it's at a meeting or writing a book or talking on the phone or whatever, I always kind of keep my attention on that feeling, that sweet, clear feeling of peace inside myself. And if I drift or lose that, I look for what was going on when I lost it. Like, did I fail to speak honestly to someone, or did I overlook some key feeling in me, or did I do something that lacked compassion? And those kinds of things will really make that feeling kind of slip away. And it's useful, it's okay to have it slip away, because it'll always tell you something you needed to know about. So it's not to be avoided. In fact, we should build into the system that it's okay to have that feeling slip away, because getting it back again is very delicious. And usually it's that 10 seconds of something that needs to be handled that'll get it back on in line again. For many years that my work has been about helping people get things like love and compassion and honesty in relationships, getting that into the mainstream. And that's, my wife and I, when we were first on shows like Oprah and things like that, we talked about like being honest in relationships, and the audience would go, whoa, but now they don't anymore, so that tells me that we're getting into the mainstream. Well, I recently read a statistic, and this was a couple of years back, it may have changed now, but at that time there was about 35 wars going on in the world. Some of them were little wars, like civil wars, some of them were big monster wars, but at that time there was about 35 of them. And 28 of them at the time were over religious differences. And so to me, peace is vital right now, because if the very organizations that are supposed to be teaching peace are actually fighting with each other, what I hear that as a giant cry for help, that it's time to do something very different in the world. And so I think that if we can start inside ourselves and kind of handle it in there and get to where we're reliably showing up peacefully ourselves, then I think it has a chance of catching on in a spiral or viral sense and spreading around the world. A beef I've had with sort of the old-fashioned peace movement back from the Vietnam War and everything is that I would see peace advocates in my therapy practice, and they would be fighting with their wives every day and that kind of thing, so they would be anything but peaceful at home. And I thought, okay, now we've got to really practice what we preach. We've got to make sure we're doing this on ourselves. Otherwise, how's a person who's just had a 10-hour argument with their spouse supposed to go out and lead a peace rally? And so we've got to show up with integrity. That's key to the whole process. We get out of integrity with ourselves and we lose that peaceful feeling in ourselves. Other people pick that up telepathically. So we can't talk over the top of that and tell people to be more peaceful if we've got this little raging war going on in ourselves. So we've got to get lined up with our own sense of integrity, our own life purpose, our own emotions. We've got to learn how to be at peace with those, and then that telepathically communicates more than anything we could communicate out our mouths. My vision for peace is a world in which people are all in touch with their life purpose. They're in touch at the core with what they're really here to do. And it's not that hard to figure out life purpose. It just takes a few minutes of kind of tuning into it and saying, what am I really here for? A lot of people are afraid to ask that question, though, because I think they're kind of maybe lulled into a sense of comfort in their daily lives, and they realize that if they were really doing their life purpose, it would be something very different than what it is. So I think we have a world of quiet desperation, in a way, where a lot of people haven't taken the time to figure out what they're really here for. And so I think that one of the things we really need to promote on our planet through our education system is how to really be in touch with yourself, how to use yourself as your own best friend and your own best tool for how to get around in the world. I don't see much being done, at least when I was in school, about that sort of thing. Maybe it's different now, but I think that's the place to start. I think that the ideal place to have things like this would be in elementary school. I've actually been in elementary schools where an enlightened principal or set of teachers had created a curriculum of how to communicate about your feelings and how to meditate and how to clear up a problem without making somebody wrong. You know, the kinds of things that really, it's almost amazing to me that you have to learn those by the seat of your pants in regular old life. I stand for peace.